Yield.
Here we go. Hello and welcome to Extra Connections Live. I'm James Lott Jr., your host here, and I'm the JLJ of JLJ Media. That's right, kids. You can't have a show without me in it. I'm just kidding. I'm here today because I like to bring you people, places, things, ideas. They're people and their ideas. They have ideas. They have a show. Now, folks out there, there are 1,001 podcasts, right? Yes, I produce like half of them. But there are podcasts that are actually really, really good and have very unique takes on things. And I want to show you, but talk to two people who have one out right now that I feel you should know about. That's just how I feel about. And these are two hosts, and they're actually lifelong friends. Well, mostly lifelong. I mean, from junior high school, right? High school, junior high school. We'll talk about all that in a second. Help me welcome Miss Emmy Morgan and Mr. Joseph Willis. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello. Let me do the church announcements. We are on JLJ Media, which is on YouTube, which is right here. Since there's a button, read something down there. Make sure you subscribe and say hello and tell me you love me. And we're also on audio. So go anywhere on the audio and find Extra Connections. It is there. We have a page on Facebook, Extra Connection Show. And of course, JLJ Media is across everything. Everything. And so just make sure you like it or something. Just whatever. Just do it. Okay. You too. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I've been doing this show for about 3 or 4 years now, and I like to talk to different people. And you guys have a unique thing going on. You have a podcast where you discuss issues and stuff to spill tea. And I want you to tell me first, what's the concept of the show, of the spilled tea? What's the concept? And either one of you could actually start. What do you think the concept is?
Want me to start, Joe?
I'm gonna let you start because you started this whole thing.
Aw. Well, first, I want to publicly apologize to James. I was late to this interview, and I apologize because that's what I do. I take ownership of my mistakes. And but that's not my fault though, because I was ripping a Gem CD. So it's not really my fault. Gem the cartoon. I was cleaning my room and I found it and I was ripping it up. Listen, it's not my fault. So anyway.
That outrageous.
So yeah, that's what I've been putting up with for 30 plus years. The concept of our show is we do talk about current topics, but we have this friendship where we don't have to hold back with each other. We can call each other out. We can say, I think you're wrong there. And it started off actually with different hosts. That's what Joe was alluding to. But I took it over and I was doing podcasts for like a year by myself.
Okay. And
I just decided to add some more flavor to it after, of course, and everybody, I'm very honest about it on my podcast. We did a test pilot for a podcast on a little network. I don't know if you've heard of it. And it didn't go so well. But one thing that they said was that Joe and I had some chemistry. And I'm like, ew. And they're like, no, not that kind of chemistry. Like, you guys got like good sparring back and forth kind of thing. And I said, oh, okay. Well, do you want to do my show with me, Joe? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so now that's what we do. Every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, he and I talk about whatever comes up, whatever's the hot topic. It's basically a recap show of the week, but we try to also add in a little bit of ourselves so that people get to know us. We're huge in Spain, by the way. Thank you.
Hey, you like Spain?
Yeah.
España.
Okay. Give me a Spanish boy.
That was my attempt at a flamenco dance.
I know, I saw that. I was like, I like that. I like that. So Joseph, I was going to ask you, so have you ever done podcasting before this?
So I have never done podcasting before. And I think when Em asked me if I wanted to do it, it was more like a hell yeah, because I was really, really excited to continue to work with her. It was, we've always stayed in contact with each other, over the years. We kind of reconnected through Facebook and we've stayed in contact. But this was an opportunity to engage on,
Mhm.
just on a different level. And I think it was important to continue to maintain the friendship part of it, because I think that's important. I think that it's genuine, and I think that it adds a certain level and a certain dynamic to the conversations that we have, because we both come from the same town. We both have very different backgrounds, though. We both had very different experiences growing up in that same town, and there was some overlap, but it brings two different unique perspectives that I think add to the conversation. And sometimes we do agree. A lot of times, not a
Mm.
lot of enough, we don't agree.
Right.
But at least we can have a civil and human discussion about things without it getting too crazy. Every once in a while, I get yelled at a little bit, but it's pretty civil.
He gets a Joseph every now and then.
A Joseph. Ooh, a Joseph.
Yeah. No, not in a good way. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. Why don't you tell them how you found out about the podcast?
Yes.
You want me to tell that story?
Go right ahead. I cannot wait to hear this, because go right ahead.
I'm going to give the sanitized version.
Okay.
We were working on another little side project that didn't really take off, and you had mentioned that this was an opportunity that was out there, that to be a guest, and I was like, hell yeah, it's a great opportunity, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
No, you can tell. So, okay, I'll tell it then, because he's being shy. So I put a post on my Facebook wall, and I said, do I have any cisgender hetero men that want to do a podcast with me? And Joe contacted me immediately, and I was shocked, because he's not very, like, the man doesn't even go on Instagram. So I was like really shocked.
Yeah, you're not on there.
But then he had an interesting response to reading why don't you tell them how you interpreted the post, Joe?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't exactly sure what you were looking for. I'll be clear on that.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know? Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm big enough to admit it. I wasn't sure what the hell was going on, so I asked.
He had to Google cisgender, because he didn't know what
I understand that. I understand. I know people.
Which is cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
And I was like, what did you think I was saying? Like, what did you think that meant? That's the scary part. I don't know what he thought it meant.
I got a lot of stuff on my resume. I had to clarify.
Yes.
I love him.
It's just, language is evolving.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Everybody is there yet. So it's very, and some of us are a little older. We have to get there a little bit. So we're not there immediately. I mean, there are things that the kids say. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, am I securing the bag? Am I getting a bag? What am I doing? What's going on? I really don't know. I mean, I'm like, am I still getting coins? Do we still say that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on. So I know how that is, Joseph.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well.
So I want to. Okay, so the two of you, I want to find out how you each identify, because I think it's very important for the listener to know why I keep saying these two personalities are very unique. So I'm gonna start with you, Joseph, because when I look at your Instagram and stuff, you're kind of a fitness person, right? You're fitness. You're white, clearly. You identify as male, right? From Becky. So how do you describe yourself to people?
So, I guess that's.
Are you white?
So that's actually where I was gonna. I've always said that's kind of a unique question for me. And growing up in Agawam, which was a predominantly, almost completely white town, and having mixed parentage, I never actually knew what to identify as. I guess I never.
Wait a minute. So wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm learning something little today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's break it down.
Am I gonna fall in love with you more? Okay, so wait. So tell me what's going on. So I'm like you come from mixed parentage, because I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but you come from. I mean, really? Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So, that's one of the things growing up. My parents were very adamant. They grew up in the 50s, the 60s, and started parenting, my siblings and I in the 70s. So it was kind of a weird time. But they were always adamant that, you know, it wasn't that you don't have the conversation. It was that you don't have to treat someone differently. You don't present that as an option. You just treat people as humans. You just treat them as, you know, a peer or someone that is an equal, regardless. It never even like consciously entered my mind until I had gotten to high school. That there was some, well, I would say junior high maybe, that there was some difference between people. So it was always a unique experience, kind of looking at it through that lens. And you understand. I mean, you kind of understand, but you know, it's never something where I've ever really identified one way or another. There are certain things about, you know, about my my lineage that I understood were part of me, and I you know, I took ownership of them, and there were, you know, it would manifest itself in different ways. But you know, I've always identified myself as an American, because I think that's the unique experience about being an American. You're a little bit of everything. Most people are, at least. And we're one of the only places that you have to, like, if you're European descent, you have to talk about it. So that's my mom. My mom's like, we're Italian. No, we're American, Mom. I'm sorry. We're raised in America. I don't care how many times you watch The Godfather. We're American.
I can't. I can't.
I love it. I love it. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So you have that. You have that. So you have that. You're also straight. So you identify as straight, or how do you identify? What's the identify as?
Yes, I'm straight. I'm married to a woman.
Sorry, James.
I know, it's fine. I guess I'll just lust from afar. That's fine. She's lucky. That's all. She's lucky. That's fine. The good ones get taken all the time. That's how it works.
It's out for debate.
I'm
What?
I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. She's a wonderful woman. I'm very fortunate, and there's somebody that'll put up with me 24 hours a day. So that's a scary thought, but.
And you're also a fitness guy. So is that something? Is that a side thing? Is that something you take seriously? What is that? How's that play in sports? Like, how's that play in your life?
Ever since I was a kid, I have always been interested in something athletic, whether it was sports, through soccer, baseball, basketball, football, just playing, you know, out in the neighborhood with all my friends, or, you know, growing up playing sports. And then, you know, probably in my mid-teens, I started working out very, very, very consistently. And I was always interested in it. It's something that I've maintained throughout my entire life. My wife owns a studio, a training studio. So, you know, clearly there's some connection there. But it's always something that I've equated to good health, to trying to remain as active as possible. So, you know, I am very into it. I'm very consistent, and you know, it's as part of me as almost anything else.
Okay. Now, Emmy wants to talk about you. She's also one of our writers of my hit #1 soap opera, Forever and a Day, the audio show. That's why we love her very much. Now let's tell you a little bit of your story about what makes you kind of unique to this partnership, this kind of on-screen partnership.
Well, I identify as trans. But unlike Caitlyn Jenner, I straight. I like men. I am Black, if you can see that. Don't adjust your TV.
I was waiting. Like, where should we go with that part? I was waiting. Yes.
Growing up in Agawam with Joe, first of all, I have to say this publicly. I've said it to him privately many times. He was so good to me. If he heard somebody making fun of me in my vicinity, like I'm 100% sure that people made fun of me when I wasn't around.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But if they were in my vicinity and he knew my feelings were hurt, he would say something. He's one of a few people actually that would stand up. And I never understood why he would do that until we got older and he was explaining to me, I'm like you, I'm different like you. And I'm like, no, you're not. And then he told me that he was mixed. I didn't know this whole time.
Now looking at it, I kind of see it now. Now I'm seeing it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I always, if we had a class together, I did notice, and he probably doesn't even realize it, we would kind of gravitate and sit next to each other a little bit. And there was always, it was the three W's, we would call them. From junior high, from 7th grade up until 9th grade, we had homerooms that were alphabetic in junior high.
Oh.
And there were these 3 guys that were best friends, and Joe was one of them. And he doesn't realize it, and he has gone on record saying it in our previous podcast, but he was popular in high school. And there was never a bad story about Joe. But something he was kind of famous for that he doesn't realize was he had the soccer butt. He had a really good butt. And everybody would always talk about Joe Willis's butt. And it was kind of funny. But Joe has always been amazing to me. And I think that's why when we kind of reconnected on Facebook, it just like, we bonded even more as adults, even more.
I want to get Barbara Walters on you guys for a second.
Go ahead.
Because we're talking pre-transition.
Mm-hmm.
You were always trans.
Inside, yes.
Inside, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So pre-transition.
Yeah.
So he knew you when you appeared as a boy.
We can say it when I was David. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be very.
That's fine.
I want the audience to be. I want to be very clear with them. The language. I'm very clear with the language. But that's what I'm saying. So when you were David, which I don't know your boy name.
Nobody knows. We met. He was in the popular class, which was Mrs. Mahoney's class, which had all the popular kids in it. 6th grade. I remember this stuff. 6th grade is when I first knew who the hell Joe Willis was. Yeah.
Okay. And so then, Joe, what was it about him? We'll say at the time it was him. What was it about David that you became friends with? I mean, what was it about that?
Oh boy.
Go
ahead.
I would say that the biggest thing that I have always done is I always have tried to look at people like I was saying before. If someone brings something to the table, or they're a good person, or they're funny, or like back in 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade, we didn't you just didn't think about stuff like that. If there was a person that was standing next to you on the playground, you just hung out with them. If there was a person that sat next to you at lunch, you hung out with them. There's none of this craziness that you develop as you get older with peer groups. And I don't think I've ever. In fact, it's probably the reason why I didn't get along with many people by senior year, because they had really fractioned into these micro peer groups that were so hierarchical in nature that it was impossible for me to feel like I could advocate for myself with any one of them and feel like I was being genuine. And that was the thing, back when when you were David.
Dave. I got Dave.
Yeah, that was my nickname, Dave.
You were always genuine. And that's the thing. I always, all of my friends, and some of my other bestest of friends from, we all have our flaws, but at the end of the day, I gravitate towards genuine people. I gravitate towards people that have a kind heart, that are good people, that do stick up for those other people, whatever moment the opportunity presents itself. I'm not a big person. I mean, I may work out as much as I can, but I'm 2'8". No,
you're not. Don't tell people that. Stop.
But I will.
Oh my God.
Hey, small but mighty.
Good things come in small packages, Joseph.
You can hurt people's things that are taller. You can get there and knock them out.
It has happened.
Right.
He's not short, guys. Don't even believe him.
How tall are you?
On a good day, 5'7".
Good day. That's kind of short.
That's not short. Oh.
Sorry, it is. I like short men. No matter all my exes were all short, so that's short. Sorry, I'm 6 feet tall. That's short. Say 5'7" is short.
Oh my God.
Ask any chick. They'll tell you, because chicks are like always talking about short men. They like them. They like them 6 feet, 5'10", 6 feet, 6'2", all that.
Yeah.
I don't get that, because most women are like 5'2". So
I know. I know.
Doesn't
It
make
makes sense.
sense.
Like, trust me, I don't get it
Yeah.
either. I like my short men, so Joseph, you're fine. I like
Oh my God.
It's fine. It's all good.
Jesus.
Yes. So I want to ask you, Emmy,
Mm-hmm.
who is David to you now?
And the funny part is that you asked me that. I was just going through my closet and I found all of this.
But
I didn't mean to say that. It just
I know.
really was doing.
It's just perfect though. But yes, it's like
I found all of this stuff. Like I found a letter that Jamie, my friend who I've been friends with, she's more like my sister now since I was 10 years old. She wrote me this 6-page letter, and I found high school pictures. To me, he feels like, even when I see pictures of myself, he feels like my younger brother that I no longer talk to.
Yeah.
But he's there. And even I had a dinner last Tuesday, so a week ago, with a high school friend of ours. And she's like, you look the same here. Everything else is different, but you talk with your hands the same. And you're loud and funny the same. And I'm like, really? I thought I was a little bit different. She's like, nope, you're exactly the same. Just right here, you're the same, and everything else is like physically different.
Now that's all. You see your true form.
Yeah, that's what she said. She actually cried when she saw me for the first time, and that affected me because like when I saw my sisters after transitioning, they were like, we're worried about you, but this person hadn't seen me for like what 30 years, and she just like bawled, and I'm like, oh my God. That's love right there. That's love.
That is. That's genuine. That's genuine love right there.
But why don't you ask Joe what David was like in high school?
Well, he was shaking his head like going, yes. So was
Go
David,
ahead, Joe.
David a hoe? What was going on? What was David doing?
No, they're the exact opposite.
That guy was very shy and quiet.
Yeah. David was personality wise.
God, here we go.
Yeah, no, let's keep it real.
Keep it real.
David would talked with his hands because he was a little mouthy. We've had
really mouthy? No.
That's what I said before.
This is when I get the Josephs, by the way. Because I mouthy was and I you confirmed it. I'm not the only person.
No, yes, Aaron confirmed it. I was mouthy.
Yeah. So it's life. That's life.
Yes, I believe it. It's okay. So there's I'm mouthy. Hello, I'm mouthy. I'm mouthy. So that's, I can talk. I can talk.
Well, I knew that people wouldn't hit me, but they would say stuff about me. There was one guy in high school. He called me every name in the book. Like if you pick a name to call a gay person or a Black person, he called me that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to say something. So he was like, go back to Africa. I go, yeah. And you're going to be on the plane to Italy with me. And I started just like talking up because I just got sick of it. So yeah, I guess I was mouthy.
So you guys had a separation of sorts. I mean, like you graduated high school, people,
Mm-hmm.
and it said Facebook brought you back together.
Yeah.
You found who first? Or was it a mutual kind of?
I think I found him.
Yeah. He reached out on Facebook with a friend request, and then I honestly don't even know when. I was like so hit or miss with Facebook at the beginning. It was like anti-Facebook, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then I was fine, I'm not gonna do it. And but Emmy reached out first. After high school, life happens. I know that for me personally, having a kid at 20 certainly, adds a little bit of a tangent, but it's always great, number one, to reconnect with, like I said, with good people that you like, people that you always got along with. But we picked up right where we left off. That was the best one.
And it felt like it got deeper, like we didn't just talk about things in high school. We talked about things going on in our lives. And his son has the same birthday as me, which is amazing. Weird at the same time. That's weird.
All his Tauruses.
Yes.
Yes, Taurus season. But it's funny because go ahead, Joe.
I also I had to help guide Emmy with some of her choices with some people. She'd always ask me for advice or, hey, do you know this person? I'm like, nah, you don't want that. You don't want that smoke. That's a bad idea. That's a stay away from.
That's
stay
good.
We're mentioning that. We're mentioning that. Okay, we're going there.
You're
Okay.
mentioning that. That's good. But no, but what I want to, so you could be embarrassed. What I want to know is, so you reconnect. You both have life-changing experiences.
Yeah.
Parent, transition, both of you
Yeah.
transition, so to speak. So I'm not surprised the friendship is deeper, just because you're older, you've gone through some stuff that was very serious. You live life longer. I mean, you just kind of life longer. And sometimes, it's one of those things. It's funny when things can pick right back up where you leave off and then go forward. It's like it can happen with some friendships. It totally happens. Not surprised at all. So on your show, you guys talk for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
So about an hour. And are there any topics that have gotten so heated where you're like, okay, we got to stop talking? Or has it been very much a back and forth and just you guys kind of do it?
I don't think anything's gotten heated.
Yeah, no.
Good.
I think there's always, there's always an opportunity for a difference of opinion. There's always an opportunity for, for either one of us to kind of speak our mind about our perspective. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes we do disagree on things, but I don't think it gets heated because I think we have a mutual respect. It's never like watching The View where, people are going to walk on set and, maybe fight each other or something like that. But I'd like to think we're mature enough to be able to have a discussion and be adults about it. And, if we have to agree to disagree, that's fine. I think we're both passionate about our viewpoints, but not to the point where it's ever disrespectful or, kind of would sully the engagement part of it.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever screamed at each other or anything like that.
Good.
I think every time we talk, I know, at least I'm going to speak for me because I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like I have to respect this man's opinion because he is my friend. And it's not just some friend that I made a year ago. This is a lifelong friend. So I need to respect him, but get my voice out as well. So, no, I don't think we've ever had like a huge blow up.
Good.
It's coming, I'm sure.
No, it's not coming.
I know. It would have happened already. But
Buddha.
Okay. Buddha. Yeah, I'm sorry, Buddha. Sorry.
Tell her to chill.
Sorry, Buddha.
I know, but the thing for me is that we're talking a Black trans woman, a cisgender, because I know what that is now, mixed hetero man.
Yes.
But this is all just for label's sake. I hate labels, but this is all for labels.
Yeah.
I think people. I don't know of any other shows out there that have this combination. I just don't. And so I feel like you probably will want to tune in just to see what they both are talking about, and they're longtime friends. They come from a part of the world where it was all white mostly, so he's got that perspective too. And now you walk in the regular world out there where it's not just all white anymore. So it must be a very interesting perspective. I feel like people should tune into this show because it's like a lot going on in there. Hear this meaty conversations. I'm sure. I mean, it's very unique. I mean, it really is. I'm just thinking I can think of any other. Let me know in the chat. Let me know, online if you find any other shows that are similar. I don't think there is. I think.
And I started to think for like when Joe told me he was mixed, I actually got sad because can you imagine presenting as one thing, knowing you're something else, and then watching one of your friends get lambasted every day? Like I can't even imagine what that would be like. I can't. I started to feel bad for Joe.
Well, it's funny.
And then I got over it.
Of course you did.
I was like, whatever. He's had a good life.
No, but because I speak Spanish fluently, and when people speak Spanish in front of me and think that I'm just some Black dude, and they speak Spanish, I know exactly what they're saying.
Yeah,
I love surprising them. I love it. I just think it's the greatest thing. So I would think it's something similar, but not the same thing, but just kind of similar where people assume by your appearance, and you know this too, just being trans, by your appearance, they don't take that into account for stuff, and it's loose lips happen around you and stuff. You know, it's kind of, you know, it
Yeah,
does.
I can't imagine what Joe's been going
It's an
through.
interesting camouflage, and that's
Mhm.
part of the unique experience of not really identifying as one way or the other,
Mhm.
because you know, in my mind, I know that if I were to do that, I would be isolating part of myself and limiting myself to who I actually am. So
Right.
it's interesting hearing like the conversations that happen when people just automatically assume.
Mhm.
But it's very eye-opening too. And it's eye-opening
Mhm.
because, and I've said this a million times on the show, we have a long way to go.
Mhm.
We do. But a show
Agreed.
like this can help move along the conversation. Unfortunately, we have to end the show because someone came late. But I can talk to you guys forever. That's so crazy. So I'll come back on again another time. We'll come back on again.
Okay.
We'll continue the conversation. Maybe we'll play some games. Like, so I'll throw some topics at you. We'll do something like that. I'll throw things at you. I mean, throw things at you, but you know what I mean.
I know. I was like, wait, he's throwing things at us.
Throw things at you guys.
You could be a guest on the spilled tea. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
That's
Seriously,
true. That's true.
Publicly, I'm saying I would come on as a guest. If you asked me to come on, I would come on as a guest.
You're always welcome.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll come on and do that. You guys, thanks for being on the show. You guys, the Spilled Tea, tell them where they can find it. First of all, that's very important. Where can they find it?
blogtalkradio.com/thespilledtea, or anywhere that you can get your podcast. Apple. I think we're on Podbean as well.
Make sure I'll put that in the description, folks.
Oh, thanks.
So they have it on there. But check them out. Go ahead and check them out.
Yeah.
Joseph Willis, Emmy Morgan. Another season of Forever Day is coming.
Yes.
So she'll be involved in that. I still gonna get a role for Joseph in one of my audio dramas. We're gonna get him in one of those.
Oh my Lanta.
I'll make him a leading man, and then I'll be his.
Oh, his head is gonna blow up. So I will never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
Please don't do this to me, James.
Sorry, Emmy. I have to. It's his destiny. It's our destiny.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly.
Oh, cut it out.
Yeah. Thanks for being on the show. I'm James Lott Jr. Follow me where all James Lott Juniors are at James Lott Jr. and also media platforms and on TikTok with that dumb video about the bread in the refrigerator. Yes, it's still going. And follow me on social media platforms with JLJ Media, of course. That's very important. YouTube, I keep saying it over and over again. It's down here somewhere. It's some little thing. I always point the wrong side. Like it's over here, it's over here. I don't know. It says subscribe on it. It's red. And Emmy just went away. Oh, no, she's back.
Nope, I'm here. Sorry.
She's like, and I'm done. And then we're on every audio streaming service out there you can think of. I mean, from iHeartRadio to Spotify, Google, Apple, everything. Extra Connections is the show. And it's actually an award-winning show that I've done. So thank you very much for watching or listening for your ear holes. We'll see you next time. And make sure you connect with other people.